All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. Right here, we're back with another interview, and we actually have a phenomenal band, a killer band at that. They're called the Usurpers, and they were right here live on, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, the radio station airwaves as well. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Hey, you're most certainly welcome, guys. Thank you so much for just giving not only myself, but the radio station airways a bit of your time here this evening. I definitely am vibing to your guys' music. I love the actual messages you guys have in your music. You guys aren't afraid to speak the truth, and that's one thing that I love. A lot of individuals in 2023 are kind of scared to actually speak about what is really going on, but you guys definitely lay it all on the line, man. That's one thing I love about the Usurpers.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
But I got to take you guys back to the beginning of this amazing band, because obviously every band has a story, and I know you guys have amazing chemistry on the song, so I can only imagine the origin story behind this band. But how did you guys actually come together and meet and to form this amazing band?
I was going to say, you want to take that one? Started?
Sure. So I moved here from Austin, Texas in 2016, and a friend of mine connected me with Nika, who's this guy right here, and I hit up Nika when I moved here to just ask like if he knew anyone, that like I was trying to start a band, and I was very surprised that he was actually interested after I sent him some material that I had done in another band, and so we started working on demos and stuff like that in 2016, and then started recording our album in 2019, and we didn't have a guitar player yet, and Mauricio, we found him at the exact right time, and he just came in and brought a lot of new ideas on guitar, and and then the pandemic hit right before our album came out, so bad timing on that, but made up for a little bit of lost time the next year, played a lot of shows and stuff.
And I got to say as well, guys, honestly, I don't think anyone was ready for that pandemic, man. When I saw it, me personally, I was kind of keeping track of the news. I really didn't think it was going to get that bad for that many years. I thought maybe, you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like the flu, right? Flu season, couple weeks, people get sick, but people move on. I didn't think it was going to be like zombie apocalypse type shit. You know what I mean? That was a crazy couple years.
Yeah, I thought I was going to hide in my house for 6 weeks and it'd be over, and hid in my house for 13 months. So
it was literally like house arrest. It's like you literally were getting punished for doing nothing wrong. It was literally like sitting on house arrest waiting to go to jail or something like that.
Yeah, it was a really bad year all around. It was a lot of bad shit happened that year. The pandemic is just one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially the toilet paper outage as well. I remember that. Like, most people were stocking up on toilet paper. That's one thing I never understood, and I still don't understand today. Why would you stock up on toilet paper?
I bought a bidet long before the pandemic happened, so
yeah, he's a prepper.
He was prepper. I can see the future.
Yeah.
So,
but also, you guys have a very unique band name as well, and I have to ask. I know this is kind of a cliche, generic question, but I really just love your guys' band name. What made you guys actually decide to choose the Usurpers?
Because we're taking control without having the right to do so. We're just kind of the idea of doing things you're not supposed to do. Seizing power, and that's like kind of what we're about. Not seizing political power, but just like. The DIY ethic and doing stuff and not waiting for other people to do things for us, and we're trying to also have an impact on the scene to try and make our local scene better. There's not a lot of punk rock bands in Utah right now, but there's a lot of people who are into punk rock here, and some of them they don't know much about the DIY ethic, and so we're kind of trying to evangelize that too.
And I got to give you credit that you actually pronounced it correctly. There are a lot of radio broadcasts where the Usurpers.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Usurpers.
Yeah, Usurpers.
I don't remember.
I don't know. There are a couple good ones.
Yeah, maybe that was a bad decision on our part to pick a name no one knows how to pronounce. So kudos to you.
It's an actual word.
I will admit there was a few times where I actually said what you guys said, but then I literally listened to your guys' music, so I'm like, That doesn't sound right. I was just like, I'm gonna go, and that's why when I said the Usurpers, I was like, that sounds more like the band, not the Usurpers. You know what I mean? This doesn't work.
Usurpers is pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, that's the ska band.
Yeah.
Same name.
But also as well, I know you briefly spoke about this album a few moments ago, but on January 17th of 2020, you guys actually released the amazing 12-track album titled Future Wars. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story and inspiration behind this amazing project. And of course, where can we actually snag ourselves a copy of it today?
Okay, well, the song Future Wars itself, the title track is about the forever wars that we were having for about 20 years there, and how basically, we don't have a say in it. It's all been decided, and we already know who the next war is going to be. Just kind of the idea that everything's been planned out for us. That they've already made the deals to buy the weapons, or the taxes we'll pay in the future for wars that no one in this country voted for. And it's like both Republicans and Democrats, are the ones, who are starting these wars. So that's kind of the idea behind the title track. But a lot of the songs are about, either just kind of like, wake up to like the state of the world and the problems that we have, because ignoring them is just letting it get worse. I guess that's kind of what the album's about.
And I also saw as well, because I do know this is 2020, so obviously this is 3 years ago, but I saw on your guys' Instagram that you actually had 500 copies of limited edition vinyl. Is there any vinyl copies left? And if so, like, how can our viewers or listeners of the radio station go about snagging themselves some wax today?
Yeah, so I guess the best way would be to go to our website, usurpers.com, and you should be able to get it through there. You can email us at usurpers@usurpers.com. Also, we had it on Bandcamp, but the copies we had on there sold out. We don't have very many copies of it left. What we do have, we're mostly holding on to sell at shows. But hit us up on our website or via email, and we will get you a copy. We sell it for $10. That's a lot cheaper than I think a lot of other bands are selling their LPs. But we're not trying to make money off of it. We're just putting the music out there. But if you just want the music, go to our website. You can get it for free. If you prefer Bandcamp, it's on there. You got to pay like 99 cents or something for it on Bandcamp, I think. But we just want to get our music out there. We're not trying to make a profit or anything. We're losing money and accepting it. So we're terrible business people.
Yeah, we even let you download the album cover with dotted lines to fold yourself. You want to go to that extent? DIY all day.
Yeah, tape covers, CD covers, all that. You can get all that on our website.
I was going to say as well, because when you said $20 for a vinyl, I got to say that's very cheap, but it's great as well, because a lot of individuals, especially in countries overseas, sometimes they can't really afford a lot of money for the vinyls and whatnot, just because of the exchange rates of their currency versus the U.S. So it's really cool that you guys actually have those available for that everybody can actually afford.
Yeah, and it's $10, not $20 that we're selling it
for.
Oh. But yeah, we're pretty popular in Russia and Indonesia, and over there, they can't acquire physical copies of our music. So, getting it through the website is the main way they get it. But we do also, there's some distros and labels that we work with in Russia where we just gave them our music and let them spread it. We didn't take any money for it. We just want our music out there.
And also on your guys' official website, you actually have a section titled Do-It-Yourself Punk Info. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this particular section on your guys' website. And of course, what is that plan that you're actually going to be doing for Do-It-Yourself Punk? Because I noticed there wasn't very much information on that side of your guys' site, but I definitely liked what you guys put on there this far.
Yeah, so the main thing on there right now is there's a download of issue 1 of a zine that I worked on a few years ago called Slut City Journal. Slut City is a nickname for Salt Lake City. Slut is Salt Lake, Utah. And that zine's 100 pages, and it's almost all information about how to start your own band, how to spread your music, things like that, as well as stuff kind of talking about why it's important to do that sort of thing, to be independent from the surveillance economy. But yeah, I mean, we'll be building out that section more over time. But there's it's the zine is in PDF format. You can download it, print it out, or you can just read it on your computer.
And I got to say as well, it's really cool that you guys actually do stuff like that, because there's a lot of talented individuals out there that can play instruments, that can sing, but at the end of the day, they don't really have that business mindset to really get their band kind of kicked off. So it's really cool that established individuals like yourselves really have that mindset to really help up and comers.
Well, we're all about building the scene. We're not really about building our band. We're trying to we're trying to make our local scene better. We're trying to spread punk rock in Utah, and we're trying to build connections and friendships with other punk bands around the world who are doing the same kind of thing. I feel like when a band is all about like themselves and promoting themselves, they're not very interesting. And I think there's a lot of self-promotion out there. We try to get the word out about our band, but it's not about us as much as it's about the scene.
And especially with the internet as well, I noticed that, like, I wouldn't say the punk scene's oversaturated, but just the internet in general, you know what I mean, is oversaturated. The moment you post something, it's getting buried by someone else's posts and whatnot. The internet is just so flooded nowadays. It's really hard to actually get one's music actually out there.
And the internet lacks a lot of authenticity. It's like, we put stuff out on social media so that people know about when our shows are and things like that. But it's like a lot of what you see on social media is fake, and we want to be real. And so we do a lot that we don't put online. Like some of our shows that we play, we haven't promoted online. And we try to play the shows that we do play. We like to play like skate parks and people's basements and parking lots and things like that.
And also as well, on December 12th of 2021, you guys actually teamed up with Moscow, Russia's own Night of Rage for the amazing split album release titled Cold War. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this particular record. And of course, how did you guys initially get connected with Night of Rage? Because I got to say, this album is amazingly put together.
Well, the singer of Night of Rage, his name is Michel, and he reached out, and he really liked our band, and he and I became friends, and we were actually planning to tour Russia before the war started. And so the split release was to kind of try and lay some groundwork, get a release out over there that would introduce more people to our band. But the war happened, and it was like last October, I think we were supposed to go over originally. And I'm on some Russian social media sites, and like some of them, they create event pages for the shows that we were going to play over there. And the date came around, and it was just kind of a sad reminder of the state of the world we're in right now.
And I got to say as well, it's really cool that you guys actually did a split album, because I do know this day and age, not a lot of individuals are really doing stuff like that and having two bands do a split album. It really kind of brought me, when I listened to that album, it really kind of brought me back to like the late 90s when a lot of bands were doing that. For instance, a big example, Gob and Another Joe, they came together for their split album, As Seen on TV. A lot of bands were doing that. It's really cool to see that amazing punk bands like yourselves are still actually keeping that split album tradition actually alive.
Yeah, I think of the Filth Blatz split from the 90s too, and when you talk about 90s split releases. One of the things that like I hope that like we achieve with that release is introducing people in the States to Russian punk. And there's the Russian government's doing terrible things right now, but the punks who are over there, they're opposed to that, and they're suffering. Like their shows are getting raided by the government now. There's a really good band there called Criminal State that the government has like banned them from playing. And I have other friends over there who, they have cops showing up and knocking on their door randomly and telling them that they're watching them. A lot of the punk shows there that are happening, they have to do them out in the forest away from the city. And sometimes they still get raided, and they all get arrested. They might get released in a day or two. But, it's the situation over there for them is really bad right now. And, there aren't like, the Russian punk bands hate Putin more than we do. It's it's just I still keep in touch with a lot of them. Unfortunately, we used to send mail back and forth, and unfortunately, we can't do that anymore. But they're our friends. They're on our side, and they're part of our family, and it saddens me to hear what they're going through all the time. But Night of Rage has been able to play a few shows since the war started. They have to do it secretly, but they're keeping it going.
And also, while we're actually on the topic of albums and whatnot, do you guys have any plans to actually release another full-length album this year in 2023 or the foreseeable future? And if so, what can we actually expect from this up-and-coming Usurpers album?
Well, we're working on new songs right now. We're in the writing stage. We took a bit of a hiatus for the first half of the year. We had already started writing some stuff before we did that, but now we're kind of going full speed ahead on that. I don't know when that release will be out. It might be early next year, but we also, to fund the release, we're looking to play some shows to, sell some of our merch, and we have a lot of t-shirts and stuff that we're if we can sell those, it'll pay for the next record.
I have to ask, obviously we just spoke about the new album you guys are currently writing right now, but aside from that, what is next for you guys? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview? Anything else you guys still want to talk about or promote? We still got you here live on 99.9 FM this evening.
I don't know. When you guys want to answer that question?
You take a stab at it.
Yeah, you haven't talked yet. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just do some talking.
Well, right now we don't actually have a lot of things going on outside. We're just focused every week writing songs. We come out with ideas. I will come with a riff, and then we're writing it. We don't like it. We don't feel it. We're just not gonna use it. But we're more focused right now on writing our new record, because I know we set the bar up. Honestly and personally, I really like our Future Wars record. So I wouldn't expect nothing less than that. So it needs to be like an amazing record. And we all together, I joined the band when some of the songs were already written. So this is my first time as a guitar player being more involved on the writing of the record. So I'm excited. And that's what we're working right now. We actually are thinking about some shows here and there, but nothing yet.
Well, yeah, we're probably gonna start playing out again in September.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna focus a lot more on Utah than we did last year. There's a lot of places in Utah we haven't played yet, and I think it's a really big opportunity for us because there aren't a lot of bands playing, punk bands playing here right now. So I think that the shows that we do have, we get a really good turnout. We get 100 to 200 people when we play here in Salt Lake. We had a good show in Ogden, Utah, and there's Provo we haven't been to yet. There's Logan, so that's probably what's in store for the rest of the year.
And obviously, I know how to follow you guys on social media, but for the individuals that are just discovering you guys this evening, or they're not very social media savvy, how do they actually go about following you guys on all social media platforms? That way they can relatively stay updated on everything you guys got going on if they're not already doing so.
Well, about the only social media we have is Instagram, because we're not really a big social media band. But if you go to the.usurpers on Instagram, that's one way you can find out about our shows. There's our website too, usurpers.com. Our Bandcamp is, we post stuff on there too. We haven't been keeping it that updated lately, so we probably need to do a better job of that. We put up a lot of flyers, things like that. That's usually how we promote our shows.
And I got to say, first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening, talking about the history of your amazing band, and of course, what is to come. I've been a huge fan of you guys since I actually first discovered you, and I got to say, I'm definitely going to keep listening, and I'm super stoked to hear the final product of that album you guys are currently writing. I know you said next year, but good things come to those who wait, as the old saying goes.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you giving us the opportunity.
Hey, you are most certainly welcome, guys. Definitely have yourselves a phenomenal night, and I'm pretty sure down the line we definitely shall talk again soon.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.